Kai Kara-France from the UFC. For me, one of the most exciting fighters in the UFC. Never a boring fight with this man. Ever, ever, ever. Kai, thank you for taking time out during your fight week to sit here and talk with me, man. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the kind words. Yeah, great to be here in America. Um, I love traveling. I love being able to showcase my skills in front of my American fan base. So yeah, it's good to be here.
Man, that's the first thing I got to ask you. What is in the water down in New Zealand and Australia area? It's like a takeover right now. We see Tai Tuivasa in the UFC. I mean, we cover boxing on this show. We see George Kambosos. All of you guys are hitting
Yeah,
a hot streak all at once. Give me the secret. How is this happening?
man. Yeah, it's definitely the movement right now, right? And being from City Kickboxing with champions, in my gym day in day out. Israel Adesanya, one of my good friends, Alex Volkanovski, another UFC champion. So it's just in us, and we're just feeding off each other. Ty is one of my great friends. We spent time in Thailand living together, and both getting big wins in December last year on the same card. It was like kind of like a pinch yourself moment. It's like all those years of grinding, and now look at us, taking over Vegas, got the key to the city, beating former world champions, and now him, coming off a massive win and probably the next in line for a title. Yeah, it's the movement, bro, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. So it's not too late to jump on the hype train.
What is it like being in the gym with these guys every day? You mentioned Izzy, you mentioned Volk, you mentioned just that atmosphere down there. Everyone is hungry to be champions. They've been champions for so long. How much does that drive you where you just see them be like, man, I need that gold. Like you guys got it. I need that.
Yeah, yeah. It's just that's the motivation you need. I'm inspired to be in the presence of all these guys, but it just knows where the standard is, and that's it's the highest standard, at our gym. And it's not just the champions and the guys that that you need to watch out for. It's the guys that you don't know that keep you on your toes, because um, that's where the progression is made. And that saying, iron sharpens iron, and led by our head coach Eugene Behrman. He's the glue that puts it all together. We call them mad scientists. There's so many small, I guess, pieces to the puzzle behind the scenes that people don't really see. They only see the end product, which is the fight. But there's so much work that goes into this. The mindset of training like a champion, and the high standards that we have at our gym, keeping yourself accountable. And through the champions down to the coaches, it's just a trickle down effect. And that's what you're seeing now. It's just finding my feet in the UFC, now coming off 2 fight win streak, all by first round knockouts. And it's just that momentum. And I didn't want to sit back and just wait for a title shot. I'm going to go out there and take it and show why the UFC and show the rest of the world why I deserve to be the next guy. So here we are now.
You mentioned those first round knockouts. This latest one, I mean, it was a fight where people thought Cody Garbrandt was coming in. It was his showcase fight, right? Finally drops the weight. They're talking about him possibly getting a title shot after fighting you, and you starch him. How good did that feel that night? And to just be like, you know what? Don't sleep on us. I am not a stepping stone in this division.
Yeah, hard out, man. Like that was on my mind the whole fight week, being overlooked, being kind of told that I'm just here to get to build Cody up, and you don't know what I just come from, bro. Like 4 months of just grinding. That's all I had on my mind was this date, and I was coming in there bad intentions, bringing all of that fuel. Being overlooked, that's just the story of my life. I've always been the smallest. I've always been the shortest. So I just take it on board, and I've kind of have a chip on my shoulder, a point to prove. And come fight night, I felt so calm in there. The pressure was on Cody. He first time at flyweight. I've done this so many times now, and I knew what I was bringing to the table. So once I guess dropped him with that first right hand, I knew it was all downhill from there. So just had to pick my shots, take my time, and then you just found the targets early, and eventually we put them away. So couldn't have gone any better. In Vegas, in front of a crowd again. My first time fighting in front of a crowd in like 2 years. So what better way to turn it on and just turn up and show out, yeah, that night. So I had my son was there, my first 1 year old son, and my wife was in the crowd. So pretty cool to have his first ever event to be in Vegas and fighting a former champion and knocking him out. So yeah, I couldn't have gone better, and just proud of myself to turn it on when it was the pressure.
You mentioned beating a former champion. Now you see in your own division, there's reports of there's going to be a fourth fight between Moreno and the champion. And you look at this,
Yeah.
do you think, like, okay, if I win this fight this weekend, I have to be in position for a title fight? Because they can only run that back so much, right? It's not a best of five series. You're like, hey, look
Yeah.
at me, look at what I'm doing. This would be three straight fights. Do you think that this fight sets you up for a shot at a title later this year?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a fan of both guys. I like the rivalry that they have going, but the UFC need new blood, and I separate myself from the pack because no other flyweights doing what I'm doing. They're not knocking out former champions and on a 2 fight win streak, both by first round knockouts. So I've got momentum with me, and that's what I plan on doing. I plan on being exciting. People want to tune into fighters that go out there and entertain and go out there and try to get the finish. They're not just coasting on trying to be controlling and just trying to wrestle. People don't want to see that. They're not gonna pay for that. So for me, I've got a kind of a job to do to stay exciting, and stay stay disciplined in there. I'm not going to be caught up in the firefight that a lot of guys get fall victims to. So I'm going to go in there, stay calm, cool, collective, and just do my thing. And once I turn up, I know I'm the best in the world. So I'm looking forward to that fourth fight. But when the time's right, I want to put myself next in line. So I'm not overlooking my opponent. I've got a big challenge in front of me. Askar Askarov, he's a tough opponent, but I welcome that challenge. I want the best version of him, and once I get past him, no excuses. No one can say that. Oh, you fought Cody, it's a bit washed up. Past his prime. Once I get past Askar Askarov, they'll be saying, okay, this is a guy.
If you could choose in terms of excitement, style, fun for you in the octagon, who would you rather fight? Figueredo or Moreno?
Well, they both present, good matchups. Brandon Moreno, we've fought each other before, so it'll be a good little storyline to it. The rematch, it was a close fight, dropped him twice in the first round. So yeah, I would love the rematch, but obviously Figueroa is a big puncher as well. So it'd be awesome to go up against someone that's got a similar style to me. Likes to drop his hands and just swing. So both fun. They're both fun fights, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And like I said before, I've got a fight in front of me, so that's all I'm focused on. But whoever's the champ, once I get past Asker, they can get it as well. So it's great to be in the conversation. Obviously, Figueroa has already called me out, saying I wanted to fight Cody, but Cody lost, so I want to fight Kai next. Um, yeah, it's awesome to be a part of that, but I got to earn my way, and that's what I plan on doing. Getting past Asker, making a statement. Putting it on this guy and getting past him, and then once we get there, then we'll figure it out.
Last question then about the fight this weekend. Do you go into this fight then looking for a stoppage, knockout, submission, knowing that doing that puts your name into a different bracket? Is it a pressure that you have to go into this fight knowing, like, man, I'm so close that I have to really perform at a different level? And how do you deal with that pressure of being honestly one fight away? Because sometimes that could be crippling heading into a fight.
Yeah, definitely. It's just my experience, man. Like I've been in high pressure fights before. My last fight, fighting a former champion on one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year, Vegas. You got Halle Berry right in the front row seat, and I got a photo of it actually where I dropped Cody, and then Halle Berry's face is wide open, just in shock. But that's what I love to do. I love being in those high pressure moments. I love when the chips are down and everyone's counting you out. That's what I feed off. That's what gets me out of bed. And I guess now having a family to provide for, having purpose in my life, providing and being that role model for my son and my wife keeps me grounded. And it's like I've got so many big things happening in my life, but um, you just try to be the best version of yourself. And for me, it's been a massive confidence booster. Finally finding my feet in the UFC and living up to this nickname, Don't Blink. And now that I've got that kind of off my back, getting my first finish, I'm just going to go in there and just do my thing. I don't need to put more pressure than needs be. I just go in there and channel my ancestors. I'm a Māori, New Zealand native, which my ancestors would have been fighting on the battlefield for land hundreds of years ago. So I'm just a modern day version of that. So I channel that when I fight. It's always been in me, that fire, and you'll see that come Saturday night. I'm just coming in bad intentions, representing my people to the fullest, and ready to throw down and get this title shot. So that's all I'm focused on.
Man, I appreciate it. Thank you for taking time out to speak with us. Good luck. Good job with the weight cut, because I know that's always like the hardest part, but you make
Yeah,
it so easy all the time, man. Can't wait to see you fight on Saturday. Thanks so much, Kai.
appreciate it, man. Thank you, and take care, bro.
Thank you.